Welcome back everyone. Today we are going to start chapter 5, coal and petroleum. We use various materials for our basic needs. Some of them are found in nature and some have been made by human efforts. So here is an activity. You can make a list of various materials used by us in daily life and classify them as natural and man-made. Does this list include air, water, soil and minerals? Since all these are obtained from nature, they are called natural resources. So we all know that what are called natural resources. Can we use all our natural resources forever? So here's a question by Bujo. Can air, water and soil be exhausted by human activities? You have already studied about water in class 7th. Is water a limitless resource? In the light of the availability of various resources in nature, natural resources can be broadly classified into two kinds. First is inexhaustible natural resources. These resources are present in unlimited quantity in nature and are not likely to be exhausted by human activity. So these are inexhaustible natural resources like sunlight, air, etc. And second is exhaustible natural resources. These are the amount of these resources in nature is limited. They can be exhausted by human activities. Example of these resources are forests, wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gases, etc. So these are exhaustible natural resources. This will be finished one day. So activity number 5.2, it is a group activity. Take some containers, fill them with popcorn, peanut, roasted gram, toffees. Divide students into groups of 7 each. Further divide each group into 3 subgroups containing 1, 2 and 4 students. Label them as first, second and third generation respectively. These subgroups represent the consumers. As population is growing, second and third generations have larger number of consumers. Put one full container for each group on a table. Ask consumers of the first generation from each group to consume eatables from the container of their group. Now ask the second generation consumers from each group to do the same. Ask students to observe carefully the availability of eatables in each container. If something is left in the containers, ask third generation from each group to consume it. Now finally observe whether all the consumers of the third generation got the eatables or not. Also observe if anything is still left in any of the containers. So this is a very nice activity. Assume that the eatables in the container represent the total number of availability of an exhaustible natural resource like coal, petroleum or natural gas. Each group may have a different consumption pattern. So each group have a different consumption pattern. Are the earlier generations of any group too greedy? It may be that the earlier generations in some group were concerned about the coming generations and left something for them. In this chapter, we will learn about some exhaustible natural resources like coal, petroleum and natural gas. These were formed from the dead remains of the living organisms, fossils. So these are also known as fossil fuels. So these are the fossil fuels. So for 5.1 coal, you may have seen coal or heard about in figure. You can see 5.1. It is as hard as stone and is black in color. So you can see a coal in figure. Coal is one of the fuel used to cook food. Earlier it was used in railway engines to produce steam to run the engine. It is also used in thermal power plant to produce electricity. Coal is also used as a fuel in various industries. So story of coal, where do we get coal from and how it is formed? Asks Paheli. About 300 million years ago, the earth had dense forests in low-lying wetland areas. Due to natural processes like flooding, these forests got buried under the soil. As more soil deposited over them, they were compressed. The temperature also rose as they sank deeper and deeper. Under high pressure and high temperature, dead plants got slowly converted to coal. As coal contains mainly carbon, the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. Since it was formed from the remains of the vegetation, coal is also called a fossil fuel. A coal mine is shown in figure 5.2. So you can see a coal mine in this figure. This is the coal mine. When heated in air, coal burns and produces mainly carbon dioxide gas. Coal is produced in industry to get some useful products such as coke, coal tar and coal gas. Coke, it is a tough, porous and black substance. It is an almost pure form of carbon. Coke is used in manufacture of steel and in the extraction of many metals. So coke is used in the manufacture of steel and extraction of metals. Coal tar, it is black thick liquid. Figure 5.3 shows that a coal tar with an unpleasant smell. It is a mixture of about 200 substances. Products obtained from coal tar are used as starting materials for manufacturing various substances used in everyday life and in industry like synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, perfumes, plastics, paints, photographic materials, roofing materials, etc. Interestingly, naphthalene balls used to repel moth and other insects are also obtained from the coal tar. So naphthalene balls are obtained from coal tars. These days, bitumen, a petroleum product, is used in place of coal tar for metalling the roads. So coal gas is obtained during the process of coal to get coke. So it is used as a fuel in many industries situated near the coal processing plants. It is used as a fuel. Coal gas was used for street lighting for the first time in London in 1810 and in New York around 1820. Nowadays, it is used as a source of heat rather than light. Petroleum. So you know that petrol is used as a fuel in light automobiles such as motorcycles, scooters and cars. Heavy motors vehicles like trucks and tractors runs on diesel. Petrol and diesel are obtained from the natural resource called petroleum. The word petroleum is derived from petra, rock, and oleum, oil, as it is mined from between the rocks under earth as shown in figure 5.4. So you can see in figure 5.4. Do you know how petroleum is produced? Petroleum was formed from the organisms living in the sea. As these organisms die, their bodies settled in the bottom layer of the sea and got covered with layers of sand and clay. Over millions of years, absence of air, light, temperature and high pressure transformed the dead organism into petroleum and gas. Look at figure 5.4. It shows the deposits of petroleum and natural gas. You see that the layer containing petroleum, oil and gas is above the water. Why it is so? Recall that oil and gas are lighter than water and do not mix with each other. So the world's first oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania, USA in 1859. 8 years later, in 1867, oil was struck at Makum in Assam. In India, oil is found in Assam, Gujarat, Mumbai High and in the river basin of Godavari and Krishna. So you can see this is the well and you can see there is water, there is oil and there is gas. So this is impervious rock and reservoir rock. So you can see petroleum and natural gas deposits. So refining of petroleum. Petroleum is a dark oily liquid. It has only an unpleasant odor. It is an mixture of various constituents such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, etc. The process of separating the various constituents fractions of petroleum is known as refining. It is carried out in a petroleum refinery. So you can see 5.5 petroleum refinery. Various constituents of petroleum and their uses are given in table 5.1. Many useful substances are obtained from petroleum and natural gas. These are termed as petrochemicals. These are used in the manufacture of detergents, fibers, polyester, nylon, acrylic, etc., polythene and other man-made plastics. Hydrogen gas obtained from the natural gas is used in the production of fertilizers, urea. Due to its great commercial importance, petroleum is also called black gold. So petroleum was also known as black gold and it has various uses. 5.3 natural gases. Before that we will see table number 5, various constituents of petroleum and their uses. So you can see the constituent of petroleum gas in liquid form, LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. It is used for fuel for home and industry. We know that petrol used in motor fuel, aviation fuel, solvent for drying, cleaning, and kerosene fuel for stove, lamp and for jet aircrafts. So diesel fuel for heavy motor vehicles, electric generators, etc. Lubricating oil for lubrication, paraffin wax for ointments, candles, Vaseline, etc. are paraffin wax. Bitumen are paints and road surfacing, they are used. So we'll see now natural gas. Natural gas is a very important fossil fuel because it is easy to transport through pipes. Natural gas is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas CNG. You must have known that CNG is used for power generation. It is now being used as a fuel for transporting vehicles because it is less polluting. It is a cleaner fuel. The great advantage of CNG is that it can be used directly for burning in homes and factories where it can be supplied through pipes. So CNG can be supplied through pipes. Such a network of pipelines exists in Vadodara, Gujarat, some part of Delhi and other places. Natural gas is also used as a starting material for the manufacture of a number of chemicals and fertilizers. India has vast reserve of natural gas in our country. Natural gas has been found in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and in the Godavari Delta. Krishna Godavari Delta we can find that. Can coal, petroleum and natural gas be prepared in laboratories from dead organisms? So Paheli says no. Their formation is very slow process and conditions for their formation cannot be created in the laboratory. So 5.4, some natural resources are limited. We have studied in the beginning of this chapter that some natural resources are exhaustible like fossil fuel, forest, minerals, etc. You know that coal and petroleum are fossil fuels. It requires the dead organisms millions of years to get converted into these fuels. On the other hand, the known reserves of these will last only a few hundred years. Moreover, burning of this fuel is a major cause of air pollution. Their use is also linked to global warming. So we know that because of their burning, global warming is caused. It is therefore necessary that we use this fuel only when absolutely necessary. This will result in better environment, smaller risk for global warming and their availability for longer period of time. In India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association PCRA advises people how to save petrol diesel while driving. Tips are: drive at a constant and moderate speed as far as possible. Switch off the engine at traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait. Ensure correct tire pressure. Ensure regular maintenance of vehicle. So this will help in saving of natural resources like petrol. So here the chapter is finished and we will start the next chapter in the next class.